guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am excited. I know I always say this, but I'm super excited. I have been waiting and waiting to do this video. So I had a lot going on. My last video that I uploaded, the Beauty Bay Rich palette, I filmed that before I went to Florida for this wedding, and it was like 2 days of traveling, 2 days down there. So it was like a 4-day thing, and then we got back, and it is the week of Thanksgiving now. So the week leading up to it, I had to switch all my days at work to cover being off this week with the kids because there's no daycare. So I worked like 7 days in a row and was just like, eh. So I couldn't get any filming done like in between that. I was just so busy and like, so I don't know. I was wore out from this wedding. I don't know what it was. I don't necessarily think it was the wedding and the traveling. I think the time change like hit me and I was like, oh my gosh. Like it was just a lot. So I apologize for being MIA for a minute, but I ordered this palette and I paid for the 2-day shipping, thinking that it was going to get here before I went on my trip, and it did not. Excuse me. They did apologize for like the delay and like the processing and everything, and I'm like, whatever. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to pay the extra whatever it was to get the 2-day shipping again from companies, because it just wasn't worth it. But I took a chance. I learned from it. Moving on, you know what I mean? Just thought I'd let you know. So anyway, I am so excited to use the Cozy Cabin Holiday Palette by SimplyPosh Cosmetics. I was so excited when this came out. I have one other palette by them and a couple singles. I have the, was it the Fairy Tale palette? What's it called? I was just looking for it. Now I'm drawing an absolute blank. So anyway, that is the other palette I have. I loved it. So I got this one, and apparently this is similar to the one I guess they released last year. I didn't know about this company until this year, so I do not have the prior holiday palette to even compare to that, but I did see pictures. I feel like I like the color story of the original palette better than this one, but I do like this one. I just feel like a couple of these colors, I'm hoping that they're not as pastel as what I'm thinking they're going to be, but like up in here I feel like these kind of are a little more pastel, and I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm hoping they come off a bit different, but I will say it is a lot prettier in person than what I initially thought. Does that make sense? So here's another look at it. I'm a little thrown off by this candy cane color right here. It's called candy cane. I don't necessarily know that I've had any like orangey bronzy candy canes. I feel like candy cane, I initially think like red and white or something a little more colorful. Not necessarily that. I don't know, I'm excited about this hot chocolate and the colors right here. The gingerbread, but it like shifts. So this goes between, is it gonna do it? Hold on, let me see. You see if it'll pick it up. See it in the mirror? But then when you look at it here, it looks like that purplish color. But then in the mirror, it looks more gold. Ooh, you can see it right there. So there is a couple shifting colors in here. The pine color, this one looks really pretty. So yeah, that's the only one that kind of threw me off name-wise, was this candy cane. Was this candy cane color. So anyway, I'm super excited. This has been sitting here and I've been like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get on and film this, but it's been a struggle. It's just been a long week, but I'm super excited. So anyway, if you want to see what I do with this palette, then just keep watching. Zoom me in. And yes, the palette is still available. It is $45. I should have said that before I zoomed in. It's $45, but there's a lot of codes. Like if you go on Instagram, like so many people have codes and they're like 10% off or whatever. And I think you can even use SPC for SimplyPosh Cosmetics, and I think that gives you a percentage off as well. And they might be having a Black Friday sale coming soon, so you could check that out also. Little side note, so I've done all my face makeup. I've noticed that I'm doing something on my eyes and I'm not really sure what it is, but a lot of the shadows are not lasting very long on my eyes. and I started trying to use the NYX glitter primer, and like that didn't even really work, and I'm like, I must be doing something skincare wise. So today I don't have anything on my eyelids at all, and I was like, let me just go in and try the P. Louise base that I purchased. So I'm gonna put that on, and then I'm gonna set it, and then we're gonna get into the video. Let's go in with this Beauty Bay 202 brush, just a fluffy brush. And I think I have no idea what I want to do. I do want to use this hot chocolate color though. So I'm going to go in with hot chocolate. It's so cute with the little pictures that they put on these. Tap that off. You do get a mirror inside. Boop. That's not bad. Not a bad mirror at all. Let's go ahead and put this on. This P. Louise base is really light. Color went on really nice. I thought it was going to be difficult to blend out just because of the first application, but like as you build it up, it seems to blend out really nice. This brush isn't as dense as like I normally would like, but just with traveling and everything, I have not washed my brushes. You know, I love my Morphe E27 and E30 brush. I'm just going to bring that underneath. It does look a little darker right here where I first initially put it. Just a little bit, but I mean, I'm not getting too nitpicky about it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pick up. I do want to see what this gingerbread color looks like on the eye, because like I said, when you look down, well, when I look down at it, it's got like this purplish hue to it, but then it shifts into like a bronzy color. I think kind of a mixture between like this chimney color and then the hot chocolate color. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to pick this up on a Morphe M421 brush. Just a flat brush. I don't have anything on it. I don't have anything on my eye. I did not wet it. So let's see how it does. All right, go in with my finger. See, that's what it's gonna shift between. See, like the goldish, bronzish, brownish, and then like this purple. I'm gonna pick a little bit more up. I'm not gonna get anything on it yet and see if I can just build it up a little bit. Let me go ahead and get that wet. So I'm just going to use my Morphe Luminous setting spray that I normally use. It's like an interesting shift of colors. I don't know. I don't know if I'm not a fan of like the combo of the purple and the brown. I'm going to build it up a bit more. Because like looking straight on, you know, they're kind of, the colors are together. I don't know if I like the color combo together, like that hot chocolate with this, because of the shift in it. I don't know. So I think what I'm going to do, because looking at this, I'm not really, the colors aren't really jumping out at me like, ooh, I want to line them up, like put something on the inner corner and then whatever out here. So I think I'm going to switch gears and go into more of a halo eye, and I'm going to go in with this color Chimney, and I'm going to pick that up on this Morphe M506 brush, just a smaller tapered brush. I'm going to pick that color up, tap it off, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that color out here on the outer portion, and then I'm also going to apply it in here. I'm going to bring it in, and then I'm going to tip my head back, and I'll lightly connect that color through here. So I'm just going to go ahead and build those two portions of the eye up to the color intensity that I want. I'm going to go back in with that first brush and soften the edge between the two colors to get a nice blend. Because I want a little bit more of like that purplish hue from this color to go into that hot chocolate color. And then I'm gonna go back in with that prior Morphe brush that I had gingerbread on. Did I even say that color earlier? Yeah, that center color is called gingerbread. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna blend the edging where this gingerbread meets up with that chimney color on the outer and inner portion. Kind of going along. Just get a nice blend. I'm gonna go back in with the chimney color and just again blend over the edging where those two colors meet. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the bottom part of the eye, but I'm gonna pick up just any flat definer brush. It could be angled, it doesn't have to be angled, whatever you have. I'm gonna dip that, the tip of it straight down, well not just the tip, but the whole edge of it down into that chimney color. And I'm actually gonna bring that color in on that lower lash line. Gonna bring it in like that, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the inner portion of the eye. Like that, and then I'm gonna go in with that first brush. I'm gonna look down to open up more of the lid space, and I'm just gonna lightly blend underneath where that hot chocolate color is, but slightly dragging into that chimney color to blend it so it doesn't look like such a harsh line. And then I'm gonna take that Morphe brush that I used to pick up gingerbread initially, the flat brush. I'm gonna dip the tip of it into the gingerbread color. I'm gonna get it wet. I wanna get the hair out of it. Dang, dog hair is everywhere in my house, and cat hair. And then I'm gonna stamp that right in the center to mimic what I have on the upper lid the best that I can. Just to add a little bit there. Nothing crazy. Sometimes you gotta work with it a little bit. Tip your head down just to open up more of that lid space. Like that lower eyelid space. Like that. Again, you can always give another once over just to make sure everything's nice and blended. Get a little bit in here. Deepen that up a little bit. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave that eye just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and hop over to the other eye. And I think for this eye, let me pick up this BB205 brush. It's a fluffy brush, but it's a little more dense than that first brush I used. And I think I really want to see, kind of intrigued with the green. You know what? I feel like, just a side note, that this color here, this fireplace color, would probably play off of this gingerbread color really well. If these are going to be too similar to each other, the way that they look like they're shifting to do a color with them. But you know, let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to go ahead and go in with Wish List here. This is totally not even what I was thinking. I was like, I really want to use this green. I really want to use the mistletoe, but I don't know. I don't know. Those colors are kind of speaking to me, so that's what we're going to do. So let's go in with Wish List. I'm gonna stamp, pick it up, stipple the color on. I don't know how to describe that. It's like a greenish blue. It's pretty. So now I'm intrigued to see what Sleigh Bells looks like. So I'm gonna pick up Throw Shade. This is a Beauty Bay brush called Throw Shade. It's from that Prism brush collection, and I want to go into Sleigh Bells here. It looks like a muted, like purplish gray, and I'm gonna put that right next to that color, Wish List. Ooh. I'm gonna bring it down into the crease a bit, so I'm not doing like a super specific line right there, as you can see, because I kind of started over here and then went in a little bit. You honestly could do whatever you want. This is a super pretty color. It's definitely different. I guess I would get more like winter vibe. This to me is looking more like a cranberry-ish type vibe. I don't know about like gingerbread. That is pretty. Because I didn't necessarily go in with a transition shade. I'm just going to take this clean brush and soften the edge of those two colors, just so they're nice and blended. I'm not sure what I want to do on the outside. Don't know. I really wanted to use some of this green, so I don't know. I don't know if I might just get a little wild and do some of this darker green, because I really want to see what this green looks like, but I want to use these two colors as well, and I'm not sure that I want to use these two colors on the outer eye. So I don't know if I want to do like that dark green here and bring it down. Ooh, let's just roll with it. It's, you know what? It might not look good, but I really want to see how these colors do. And I want to show you guys how they do. So it's not necessarily that I'm like, hey, this is the look, this is the color combo you need to do. But I'm really intrigued by these colors. So to start off, I'm going to go in with lights right here. I know I'm a little all over the place. And I'm going to pick up this Morphe M421 brush. Just a flat brush. Let's pick up lights. And this is pretty. It's like a shift between, it looks like it's got some like purple, some blue. I don't know, let's see what it looks like on camera. So I'm gonna pick that up, tap it off. Oh, that looks so pretty. Okay, let's see. You guys know I'm a sucker for some blues and greens. If you've been here a while, oh, that's so pretty. But let me pick that up, and I'm gonna get it wet with setting spray. I'm not a fan of putting my finger on the inner portion of my eye right here for shimmery shades, just because my fingers aren't little and I tend to make a mess. That is a pretty color. I hope you guys can see that. I hope it's picking up. This is what it looks like on my finger. So let's see, I don't know, if I can get a little more intense. Pick a little bit more up, get it wet. Now I'm going to go into Angel, and it looks purple, but when I turn it, it has like green and gold like flecks in it. So it's an interesting shift. It looks pretty on the brush, so I'm going to pick that up. Looks like a bit. So I'm going to tap some of that off, and I'm going to go in center of the lid. That is a pretty color. I'm going to get it wet because I feel like it's not adhering to the eye like super well. I'm just gonna go over where those two colors meet up. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that first color lights, so I can get a better blend of the two. I hope that's picking up. They are pretty colors. Let's go there. Ooh. So you know, again, like I said, it might not be the best color combination, because what I could do essentially is go and do like a cool tone, like smokier eye, and do this snowfall on the outer corner, but I really want to see what these two colors look like as well. So I'm going to pick up Cabin. I'm going to pick up this one here, this deeper olive color, and I'm picking that up on this Sigma pencil brush, this E30. I'm going to tap it off, and I'm just going to keep this to this very bottom corner. I'll blend it out, don't get scared. But I'm also going to bring it down underneath the eye. That is very deep. So that's actually a really nice grungy olivey green. So I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to pick up that sleigh bell color out here, and I'm just going to tap that and then lightly brush over it just to feather that out a little bit, or blend it out, feather it out. Blend that out just a smidge. Kind of bring it up a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with that angel color and just lightly press over where those two meet up, just to get a better blend between that green and the prior color. Add a little bit of shimmer into that green. That way it's not like super overpowering, but like you can still see it. And then I think what I want to do is take that brush that I used to blend everything out up here. I'm going to look down and I'm going to use it to blend out that green down here. Stinking lights. So when I look down, I'm just using a little tiny bit of that hot chocolate color on this brush to blend that out. And then I'm going to pick up something small. I'm going to pick up this BB209 brush. This is one of their lip brushes. It's just small, it's a little tapered, and I'm gonna go into this pine color. And I'm gonna put that on the inner corner. Ooh. Oh, you guys know, oh, here we go. This green and this blue got me. This is really pretty. The shift in the green, oh, it's so worth it. It's got like green, gold, and I'm just actually gonna bring that. I'm gonna get it wet first. I'm gonna put a little bit more on here, and then I'm gonna bring it across into that olive color all the way down. Oh, that is so damn pretty. Oh, that color is so pretty. I'm such a sucker for the greens and the blues. Again, this isn't like a, hey, you need to do these colors together. Not at all. But I just want to use as many of these as I can, so you guys can see the shift in these colors. Because I don't think you quite get that from the palette when you look at it. That is so pretty. And then I'm just going to go back in with that brush and just go underneath. That is so pretty. Just the color right here, not necessarily like, I don't necessarily think I like all those colors together. Like, don't misinterpret what I mean. I just mean like, oh, looking at that, oh, I love it. All right, so I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna go ahead and do some eyeliner, some lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the finished look. I'll go ahead and close my eyes. And I'll go ahead and cover one eye so you can see, because I know that messes some people up. And then I'll cover this eye. So I went ahead and I used the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Wherever Walnut. So I used that to line my lips. And then I used this Bare Minerals lipstick in Kitty. This one's their little minis. I've had these forever. They usually come out in like holiday packs, like Christmas, but it's like XOXO. So there's the gold ones, and then I have black ones. They're just little minis because it takes me forever to go through lipsticks, so sometimes I end up buying those. I went ahead and used my Benefit They're Real Extreme Precision Liner in brown on this eye, and then I used this ColourPop, what does that say? Cream Gel Liner. Some of the stuff is like rubbed off. In the color Maybe. So it's like this green. I used that in the waterline down here. I don't know, I had a great debate. I was like, there's so many colors I could choose to use. And then I was like, you know what? Let me try green to see if it brings out some like the green in the shimmer down here. I wasn't sure like what was going to happen, so that's why I did it, just to see. And then on the other eye, I went ahead and used the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in, what's that say? Charmer. So it's like this deep plum color. So I initially used that like up here and then started to use that in the waterline. And then I was like, hold up, wait a second. Let me go ahead and use this emerald color. Because I was like, oh, that would look really nice. And I think there was a eye look recently that I really was like, oh, I should have used, I think it was like a darker green or like a blue, and I was like, oh, I should have done that, and then I didn't, and I was like, you know what, we're doing it this time. So I used that. It is a pencil, and this is, what does it say? Bodyography Emerald Eye Pencil. I have no idea where I got this from. No clue. It must have come in like a BoxyCharm box or one of those like forever ago, because I don't recall ever buying that. So it had to have come in a box. And then I went ahead and used the House of Lashes by Sephora collection, in Iris. I'll go ahead and insert them up here so you can see them. I really like them. They went on pretty nice. They're a little uncomfortable in here, so there was a bit of the band like sticking out, so I went ahead and trimmed that because I was like, oh, they are a little uncomfortable. They did initially feel a little heavy, but the longer I'm wearing them, the more I'm kind of getting used to it. I think it's just because I've been wearing lighter lashes lately. So anyway, I really like them. I like how they're nice and short here, and then they get longer, or you could think, oh, they're longer here and then taper inward to be shorter in here. I really like that look, but I don't know. I like the shape of them and I like how they look. So anyhow, I'm pretty sure I got those on sale from Sephora at some point in time. Okay, I think that is it for my face. I just went ahead and used my Roller Lash by Benefit for the upper and the lower. I think that's it, so I'll go ahead and zoom out when we talk about it. Okay, so the palette. I don't want to be like super nitpicky because I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be petty, but I don't know. I just feel like for me, for the color story, I think when it was like hyped up and they show like these, I was like, you know, like show like the cover of their palettes and they hype you up for it. I think in my mind, when companies do that, I start to formulate like in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is what it's gonna be. And then I have this whole idea, and I think for me it's hard when I get this idea in my head what something's gonna look like, and then they do like the reveal of it, and then I see it, I'm like, oh, that is not what I was expecting. I think that's kind of what happened with me for this palette, because I wasn't expecting these lighter, more like pastel colors for a holiday palette. I feel like I was envisioning more like the colors you see around the holidays, like your browns, your decadent, like deep purple tones, or even, you know, when you're thinking Christmas, you're thinking like an array of like green tones, shimmers, lighter, like golden champagne-y colors, thinking more like the lights on trees and things like that. So I think I started thinking that type of stuff, and then I'm like, you know what? That's my fault. You know what I mean? That's my fault. That's just me, and that's just kind of what I was thinking. So when I opened this up, I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting at all. So I kind of have to back off from that, because I think initially as I started working with it, when I first got it in the mail, I was like, okay, because I was kind of on the fence about it. When it first released, I was like, and I was like, no, you know what? I am going to get it because I really enjoyed their last palette, and I really want to see how the formula works, how the shimmers do. Like, that was the whole thing. It wasn't more or less like, hey, I'm gonna get this because I'm gonna do all kinds of Christmas looks with it. Like, I just let that idea go, even though it is a holiday palette, right? So I let that whole idea go. I got it in the mail, and I was like, wow, this looks a lot prettier in person than what it did online when I initially saw it. So now coming into it, I've kind of had to let that go. But I think I still, like, when I first started doing this eye, I was like, I'm not feeling the vibe, like the color vibe, the color story at that moment in time. And I think it just kind of put me off a little bit. Now, I did go back in after I finished this eye, I did go back in and deepen it up a bit, and I was like, okay, I do like it a bit better. And the more that I've been wearing it, because I've had to stop this video and like do some things with my son, so the longer I've been wearing it, I keep catching myself like in a mirror, like when I walk through the house or whatever. And I was like, you know what? It actually does look really pretty. I think for me, it was just that initial like start to it. I still had like that whole like holiday vibe in there. But then I'm like, you know what? It kind of does play on like the purples and like kind of a cranberry-esque look. But then I'm like, you know what? This palette doesn't have to just be holiday. You know what I mean? Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. So I think for me, I need to be, or anybody going into it, just a little more open-minded about the color story, because again, it wasn't what I was expecting. So I think that threw me off altogether. So everything performed really nice. So regardless of what is going on here, I didn't get into a lot of these colors, but I think this palette is more versatile in the sense of it doesn't have to just be a holiday palette for Thanksgiving, Christmas. Now, granted, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, which for you guys, if you're watching it on Thanksgiving, it's Thanksgiving today. So it's not helping you if you don't have the palette, you know what I mean? So I think you could do some Thanksgiving fall looks for this. I mean, is it going to be around next year? I don't know. You know, a lot. So it's kind of late in the season to be like, oh yeah, that's a great like fall autumn palette. Yeah, it will be for next year, but you could do those colors whenever you want. You don't have to be like, hey, I can only use these colors in the fall. I can only use these colors in the summer. Because you know, when you play with makeup, you do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So backing that up, because I feel like I kind of got off on a little tangent, it's hard to look at this and say, oh yes, go ahead and get this for fall, because we're coming out of fall, we're going into winter now, which is where I think you can get into these cooler tones. But again, it's not necessarily something that I would initially think like, oh hey, but everything applied really nice, and I really like the shimmers. I like the shift in these colors. This one threw me off because I'm like, you know what, I don't necessarily think I have very many, if any at all, of like that kind of like pinkish brown shift. So I was kind of like, I don't really know if I like that. Maybe in the rich palette, but not something to this extent, I don't believe offhand. But I'm kind of drawing a blank on do I or do I not. Maybe in that BH Cosmetics, is it the nude palette? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I'll leave a comment below if it comes to me and I think about it. I'll pin it somewhere in the bottom. So I think that just kind of threw me off, because I was like, I don't really know if I like this color combo. But again, the more I wear it, the more I'm kind of like, oh, but I do. It looks nice. Like I do like it. I don't mind it. Again, during the video, I was kind of like, meh, don't know if I like this. I really enjoy the shift in these colors over here. I am a sucker for greens and blues, and this green color, this pine color, is so flippin' pretty. It is so pretty. I don't know if they're gonna have singles of these colors or not. I'm not really sure. Like I said, this is $45, but you can use 10% off, so you get $4.50 off. And they have some other stuff. I don't know if they're gonna have a Black Friday sale, so you might want to get on there. You might get it for even less. I'm not really sure. Again, I'm still thrown off by this being candy cane, because when I look at it, I see orange, and I'm like, I don't think of that color when I see a candy cane. Or when I hear candy cane, I don't think of that color. I do enjoy the colors there. That's something I'd probably wear because they're more like neutral nudes, you know, whatever, like every day. So I think it's versatile in the sense that you could use these for everyday looks, and then if you want splashes of colors, but you have something a little different to do here. You do have some cool tones down here, more for like winter time. But again, it's not like your traditional, what you might think for like traditional holiday makeup. So if you're not concerned with that, I do like the palette. I do like the colors. I do like how everything performed. I'm just being petty about the whole like holiday thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just the season to get outside of that though. So I don't need to be petty. I need to be open-minded about it. See? So I can see the fault in my thinking. So you guys take it however you want it. Do whatever you want with that. You know, again, when I think like cozy cabin, that's just not what I expected inside. But aside from that, I do enjoy the palette. I do feel like these are similar to ones in the fairy tale palette. Like that was my initial thought when I saw it as well. But so I think that's what I was thinking. So the fairy tale palette is down here. So you see the greens over here, so you got your whimsical and your pixie and your dreamy, and then the fairy dust, and then you've got some deeper colors down here. I think that's what this side of the palette reminded me of initially, and I think that's again where some of my disappointment came from, was that. But I do like I do like the palette. I do like the formula. I do like supporting this brand. So that's how I'm going to leave that. I think if you think you might like that color story and you are going to get some use out of it, then go ahead. You should totally get it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it regardless of what it says on the outside. I'm going to use it whenever I feel like using these types of colors, not just being like, oh hey, here's a holiday palette. And I'm done rambling on. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this helped you decide whether you wanted to get it or not. Again, my purpose of these videos is just to show you how the colors perform, how the product performs, how, you know, everything applies to the eye, how it wears. It is wearing pretty nice. I've had this on for quite a while. It does not look like anything is wearing away. So again, that is the main purpose of this. It's not to be like, hey, do this exact eye look, you know, something on me. It's not, hey, do this exact eye look, but you know, you could be getting ideas from it if you're kind of like, I don't know what to do with that. So anyway, I hope the video helps you. I really do. I will have this video up probably tonight or up for Thanksgiving. So if you're watching this on Thanksgiving, I wish you and your family and your friends and your whomevers a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. Let's all take some time to really reflect and think about what we're thankful for. I know I have a lot of things to be thankful for. I'm super, super, super thankful that my family is healthy. That is, you know, my parents were going to come in for Thanksgiving, but my dad is sick. But I think it's just him running its course with a virus or a cold that's going around. And thankfully it's not worse than that. I'm going to pray that my mom doesn't get it. But otherwise, in general, in the bigger picture of things, my family is healthy and I'm super thankful. I wish you all well. I wish all of you and your families and everybody healthiness and just being thankful and happy. So happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's anything that you do want to see, comment below, let me know. I've got a ton of Christmas palettes and looks that I need to start rolling out some videos, so you will be, please look for those in the future. Hopefully within the next like week or two, I'm gonna be able to start getting some stuff out. I really can't pin down a specific schedule because right now things are just so hectic with me working. And on top of all of this, I am trying to get out of poop job, and this week I've been running through this, like, I don't want to say ridiculous, but I've been running through this like whole interview process with this company. It's just been so many things. There's so many steps that they've wanted me to do, and they're like, hey, you're on a time crunch. And I'm like, dang, it took you like weeks to get back to me to let me know you were even interested. Now all of a sudden you're like, hey, do all these things. So I've been doing that on top of working the past 7 days in a row. So anyhow, just be patient with me. I wish I could pin down and say, hey, I'm gonna have videos up every Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, whatever. I do apologize right now. I hope to get things figured out soon, but please know that I do have more videos coming out, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening or whenever you're watching this.